Hello and welcome into another installment of Wolfpack Sports TV. I'm James Thomas, accompanied by Logan Sims. Today we're covering Club Women's Soccer, NC State versus Duke. Now Logan, we saw in the earlier game NC State drew with the UNC Tar Heels. And this is the second game of today, so Duke and Carolina just wrapped up playing one another, and NC State is underway here. Logan, what do you think are going to be the keys to success for the NC State Wolfpack to pull out a win right here?
Well, one thing that I noticed from the last game against Carolina is that they need to be a little bit more aggressive on the offense. It didn't seem like it seemed like they had the ball on their side of the field a majority of the time, but they just weren't making aggressive shots. I feel like that would be a much needed difference for them to win this game. Also, again, like I said, it didn't seem like they used a ton of energy in that first game against Carolina. I don't know if it's because it was so cold, but I don't see them being as fatigued as possibly Duke would be right now, considering Duke just finished the game, about 30 minutes ago. That's
true, Logan. There's good parts and bad parts about playing a literally back-to-back game. One, you're already warmed up. NC State has been sitting for about 2 hours, while Duke just played Carolina. However, we start off this game, and Duke has already found themselves with a corner kick here. It'll be Duke's corner kick coming from left to right, swinging in. Corner kick on his way. High ball. No one cleanly clears it, and finally cleared out by NC State. Now, we do apologize for the rosters. We don't have a complete set of numbers for everyone, and I'm not 100% sure that all the names are correct. So if we do misspeak, I do apologize.
Duke. Also, it is significantly, I wouldn't say warmer, but when the wind's not blowing, it feels much better than it did for NC State's game earlier. It was very cool earlier. That may play a vital part in this game.
Yeah, and Duke has already seemed to dominate the play here in the very opening moments of this game. Mostly attacking those left side as we see Duke coming in on a cross right here, a low cross. That'll come easily out to the center back for NC State. This looks like we're moving it up and switching the field. See, State passes it out to the near side. McDonald has it, but it's picked off and Duke will retain possession. Duke has done a good job of finding space just before the back line of NC State and distributing through there, but NC State now on a bit of a counterattack. This is number 20 for NC State. She'll drive through the heart of the Blue Devil defense, but she's finally squeezed out by the left back.
It almost seems like NC State is hesitant to push it past their side of the field at this point.
NC State to throw. Tomke has it. A through ball there to McDonald is too long, and McDonald was offsides on that play. Duke will set up for a free kick and immediately intercepted there by number 9 for NC State.
Very good opportunity here for the Wolfpack.
20 shot on goal, too high, and it hits off the crossbar. It's a loose ball right in front. Crawford has it now and cleared away by the Duke Blue Devils. So that'll count as a shot on goal, and NC State really has the first quality opportunity of the half. They really seem to have found their footing after a shaky start in the opening moments of the second half. Crawford turns and finds, I think this is Bolin out on this near side. McDonald down the left side. She'll cut in, stop, start again. Bolin now. Bolin centering pass right in the middle.
A great look right there.
Flipped around, and Duke will actually clear it out now.
A great look she had right there. Just couldn't quite get the pass crisply enough.
Another shot on goal, just wide. And NC State has had 3 quality opportunities in about a 2 to 3 minute span here. So NC State now leveling the opportunities that each team has had. NC State has looked strong in the second portion of the game.
Their engines are warming up and being a little bit more aggressive, and it might be that Duke's feeling a little bit more fatigued now.
Crawford passes it back towards the Duke back line. Duke will look to build out. Flicked on and turned as a Blue Devil center midfielder. Davis will look. Finds an errant pass, and this one will deflect off of Crawford's chest.
You know, that didn't feel good in this cold.
Bowling controls. Back to Bowling. Finds the feet of our striker, and NC State will lose possession. Long ball attempt here by Duke. Proves futile. As the two key players in for NC State who had a really good game, that'd be number 17, Maggie Reef, and number 21, Danielle Cooper. Very good support players there, Logan. They always have back passes readily available for their midfielders, so NC State can retain possession and build out of the back, which is very key for a possessive type team like NC State. And a shot on goal, and a little bit of a miscue there by the goalie, Anna Belfeld.
You know, it seemed like she was right there. She could have stuck out her hand and blocked that. It's almost as if she didn't think that it was going to go in.
Yeah, it did look like she thought it was going to be wide, and NC State now finds themselves down by 1. It's a little bit of a surprise play there by Duke.
It's almost as if the goalie didn't even expect the shot to come.
Yeah,
That's what it seemed like.
The shot was from pretty long distance out. It might have been like an errant cross or through ball. But nonetheless, NC State finds itself down by 1 now.
This is definitely a different start for the Wolfpack than last game. Last game, they got on the board pretty quick against Carolina about within the first 10 or 15 minutes. Now they find themselves down for the first time today. We'll have to see if they can answer, especially considering they've had 3 really great opportunities and they just have not been able to capitalize. Could very easily be up 2-0. Well, now 2-1.
Duke now with the opportunity. Cross comes in. Belfeville scoops it up and throws it out to Bolin. Bolin now on the counterattack. She has McDonald out to the left. Centering pass towards Crawford. Crawford finds a through ball towards McDonald. McDonald slicing in, and once again she's offsides. Bit of a questionable call there, Logan.
I'm not entirely sure. Unfortunately, I don't completely understand offsides in soccer, so if you could explain that, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, sure. So offsides in soccer is when the ball is played, the attacking team has to be in front of the last defender, and so basically it prevents just cherry picking. It kind of shortens the field, and where you don't have to defend 90 by 100 yard area, basically.
And that's only when they take possession they have to be behind
It's when the ball is played, yeah. So in that scenario, to me, it looked like Crawford had played the ball before McDonald had passed the last defender. So, in my opinion, she was onside there. This is a throw-in to Crawford. Crawford now marching down the middle of the field. She'll look for a pass towards McDonald, but intercepted by Duke's number 25. The center back will look to play it up long. She'll control, but this one will fall to Davis. And NC State will look to reset.
25 for Duke seems to be maybe one of their captains because she's been barking out orders all game, telling her teammates what to do and trying to just be helpful.
Duke does seem to be more talkative and communicative than NC State. A little bit of more quiet side, but nonetheless, NC State building an attack here that breaks down, and Duke will have a throw-in. So after about 7 minutes of play, 7 to 10 minutes of play, Duke has themselves 1-goal lead, with NC State having a couple quality opportunities here. It'll be key for NC State to exploit this soft back line that Duke is playing. They kind of have a diamond back with a sweeper and a stopper. uh, basically two center backs that are playing staggered on top of one another. As this ball is cleared up, and NC State will chase it down.
And definitely, if you're a Duke in this situation, definitely want to try to step up that defense just a little bit, not give quite so many open opportunities if you want to maintain this lead.
Looks like we're going to have a stoppage of play, and the head referee is going to talk to both sides. Let's see here, he's talking to number 18, Mo Yarborough, the right winger for the red team. And it looks like he's just giving out some warnings. And
maybe getting a little physical or talking out there a little bit more than the ref likes.
Something to keep an eye on for the rest of the game. Davis overshoots her jump for a header. Duke is on, cutting inside the 18-yard box down the left side. Touch is too long, and Duke will go out of play for an NC State goal kick.
The player was making some really nice moves, just unfortunately on her last kick, just kicked a little bit too far ahead.
It actually looks like NC State's made an adjustment from the first game. First game had Cooper and Danielle Cooper and Maggie Reef in the two center back positions, but it looks like Danielle Cooper has been replaced by number 16 Lauren Old. So that could be tired legs or I guess scheduling conflict or something. Club soccer is a little bit odd in its schedule. As Duke builds an attack, it'll be shut down by the NC State defense, and NC State finds itself on a bit of a fast break. McDonald down the left side, looking for a centering pass. Takes a touch. The ball's right there, and NC State can't find that final shot. Duke will clear away and control out, but NC State wins the second ball. Davis to defend. Poked away. And Duke has a 4-on-5. Good ball, but the referee calls it offside. So it's about the fourth offsides call we've seen here today, 2 by each side. And it's a little bit odd because in the first game, Logan, we didn't see any penalties of any sorts. I think we only had 3 fouls throughout the whole game.
It definitely seems like NC State has definitely come out a lot more aggressive in this game, trying to push it up the field as opposed to the little smaller, chippier passes that they had in the Carolina game. Maybe they might have woken up and shaken off some of the cold bugs from this morning with how it was down in the 30s.
Old's free kick is flicked on towards. Oh, it was a good opportunity there by McDonald to finish my thought. Flicked up towards number 9 Crawford, and Crawford find a nice pass across to McDonald. McDonald could not get a touch on it, and the ball will go out of play for a Duke goal kick. Duke looking to build out of the back. Headed on by NC State. Cleared out by Duke once again. NC State on the attack, but Duke is going to be whistled for a foul. It looks like it's just a dangerous play there. She slid from behind, and I don't know that there was too much contact there, Logan.
I'm not so sure there was any contact because it didn't look like the Wolfpack player moved a bit. She went up under and kicked the ball away.
She might have caught an ankle in there, I think. But nonetheless, Old with the free kick, long free kick, swirling in. Dealt with initially by Duke. And Bolin decides to pull it back, but an errant pass gives Duke a break. And it's a 3-on-4 opportunity for the Blue Devils. Good positioning there by Bolin. The Duke player just hit the deck.
And Duke is not happy about that no call from the ref. But he immediately called it out and told him that there was no foul, and play continues.
NC State playing catch with it in the back. We'll look to build out. NC State finally earns themselves a throw in and quickly taken by number 17, Maggie Reef. NC State building now.
It's been a very physical game from both sides so far. Not something we saw quite as much in the first game.
So back and forth play by both teams now, as NC State will string a few passes together and then Duke will string a few passes together. This is a long ball, and it'll trickle down just in front of keeper Anna Belfeld. She tosses it out to her left defender. NC State back passing, keeping nice possession here. McDonald just saves it inbounds, and NC State will retain possession. Old with it, almost pickpocketed by the Duke attacker on a forecheck. Crawford finds McDonald.
Nice
a good
move.
pull Cruyff right there, and McDonald finds space down the left side. McDonald loses a little bit of her spacing right there, and the NC State attack breaks down.
25 for Duke is a very solid defender. She's calling out shots just like a quarterback or cornerback in football might do.
NC State on a break now, right down the middle. Number 20 couldn't quite use her speed to get there, and the Duke Blue Devils have cleared it away, and it'll go out of play for NC State throw-in. This will be taken by number 1, Amanda Boland.
We'll have some substitutions here for both the Wolfpack and the Blue Devils.
Looks like number 18 for the Wolfpack will be coming off. That's Mo Yarborough. Coming on for her is, I'm not sure who that is, Logan.
I'll let you know as soon as I see it if I do see it.
Crawford with it now. Crawford. And the NC State attack breaks down. So the play is kind of leveled out here a little bit, and neither teams has had too many opportunities in this last 5 minutes or so. And as we do believe, give or take a couple minutes for stoppage, we are playing 35-minute halves. Duke plays it short, looking to build out with possession, then decides to launch it long. Old backtracks, sticks a foot in. Boland controls it out toward Old, and the Old couldn't find feet, and Duke is back in. Physical play there by NC State, and it's going to be a free kick awarded to Duke right there. Boland did kind of lower her shoulder a little bit there. There was a lot of contact. Physical play there by Boland. She was the other girl looked to be somewhat larger than she was.
Very physical play.
Duke to swing it in. This ball popped up, and I think that came off of a Duke hand. So NC State escapes an opportune free kick by the Blue Devils. Old uses the width of the field. Excuse me. That's Carter. NC State on the switch. Misdirected pass comes right back to number 17. Hurley now with the long ball. Chased on by the right winger for NC State, but that's too long. And another error there by NC State. Not quite a turnover, but pretty much the way that Duke is playing with possession, it might as well be Logan.
Yeah, it might as well. You know, definitely if you could take a little bit off that pass, you might have another open play and attack on the net if you are the Wolfpack. Definitely want to get a little bit more crisp on those passes.
Another foul here by NC State, and it's about the third or fourth foul that we've seen from the red side. The blue side have a couple fouls themselves, so a lot, like you said, Logan, a lot chippier play here than we saw in the first game.
just surprising because there's obviously the rivalry between the Wolfpack and the Duke Blue Devils, of course, but North Carolina Tar Heels are the hated rivals by the NC State Wolfpack. You would assume you'd see that in the first game.
Bolin intercepts this pass. I'm looking for feet. She'll move up towards the midfield, finds Carter out to the left side. Carter will find McDonald. Excuse me, that's Hurley. Hurley tries to find Bolin, moving up from her left back position all the way up to almost like a striker.
Not a bad idea on that pass right there, just again a little too hard.
Hurley now looking to crosses it in, trying to find the backdoor header, but nobody can find a quality touch on it. And the Duke keeper will scoop it up and look to clear her lines. Controlled by Bolin. Carter with it now. Dispossessed by the Blue Devils. And the ball sent all the way down the right sideline. Bolin to throw in for the Wolfpack. Hurley. Back to Old. To Reef. NC State strings together a few passes and looks for the long ball. Once again, it isn't there. Duke does a good job covering. And it's a bit of a curious strategy to go short, long by NC State when Duke is playing such a soft back line.
Yes, it is. And it seems like, even with those long passes, NC State might be slowing down a little bit here, maybe getting a little bit more fatigued than they were, obviously, to start the game with the break.
Crawford with a deflected pass. Can't find Carter on this near side. Number 20 for the Wolfpack will find her right winger streaking down the right side. Looking for a centering pass. She'll look to stop it, but it'll go off of a Duke foot, and NC State will have their first corner kick of the game, I do believe.
There's another opportunity for the Wolfpack, but not quite as much of a miss one as the earlier ones because of such a great defensive play by the Duke Blue Devils. But definitely one you would have wished that if you were the NC State Wolfpack, you could have capitalized on.
In-swinging centering pass comes from the right corner, and Duke snuffs it out immediately. Looking to build out, pushes out that back line, but NC State will win the second ball and regroups in the form of Boland. Hurley with it now. Back to Boland. Boland pushing up again. A 1-2 pass. Back to Boland. Boland cuts in again. Boland still with it. Crawford now.
It was a great pass there. Boland just could not quite stick with it as much as she probably wished she could have and had a fast break to the goal.
Duke dispossesses the ball, but then gives it right back to the Wolfpack, and the Wolfpack give it back. So Duke now on the attack, looking for a long pass down the right side, intercepted by Boland. Boland to Hurley, Hurley to Carter. Carter down the left side. She stops, finds Hurley on a square pass. Crawford with a shot, too high. And NC State on the goal kick. But if you're NC State, that was a very nice series of passes and a good play right there. You had good 1-2 passes and into space and square. Hurley has it working well with Carter as she did in the first game. And NC State looks like they're more offensive-minded now, Logan.
Of course, yeah, they're very offensive-minded in this game, making some really great plays. It just seems like they need to sand off the back end of some of the plays because, like I said earlier, there was one pass to, I believe, I'm not remember which one it was, but very crisp passes. NC State
cross
has
here,
opportunity.
Shot. Oh, and a tremendous save by the Duke goalkeeper, but eventually it's Hurley who nets one in the back of the goal, and NC State, just like that, equalizes with not too much time remaining in the first half, I would have to think.
What a spectacular effort by the Duke Blue Devils goaltender. She blocked one, was on the ground, somehow was able to get up and block a second shot. Just was unfortunately for her unable to take hold of it before it was finally put into the back of the net for the Wolfpack.
So NC State equalizing with approximately 5 to 10 minutes left in the first half. Duke now looking to regain momentum and build possession out of the back, using the width just like NC State. This Duke team does mirror NC State in a lot of ways. Old plays it all the way back to her goalkeeper, Belfeville. Out to Reef. Reef's pass is deflected by the Blue Devils, and the Blue Devils are in on goal, about 35 yards out from the net. Pass into space. The Blue Devil attack is down by the baseline. A nice turn, but the NC State defender, Old, did a good job of turning away the Blue Devil attack. 1-2 passes, finds Hurley into space down the left side. Hurley coming in, stops, finds a back pass, crosses it all the way across to the right winger. That's Crawford. Crawford stops, shoots with her left foot, and a tremendous goal there by Crawford. Crawford absolutely kept composure, switched to her left foot, and ripped that one, Logan.
It was a very solid kick, very solid score there for the Wolfpack. Definitely what you want to see if you're the NC State Wolfpack, able to, these last two possessions, able to close off the possession with a goal. Like I was trying to say before they did score, was sand off the back end of it, make it a very pretty play with the score. Definitely where you want to be if you're the NC State Wolfpack, and what you don't want to let happen right now is let Duke tie this up before they go into the half.
Goal assisted by Hurley, netted by Crawford. NC State finds himself up with, again, probably about 5 to 10 minutes left in the first half, and there's the old coaching philosophy that I strongly believe in, that you gotta protect the 5-5s of the game, the beginning 5 minutes, the 5 minutes after each opponent scores, and the ending 5 of each half. Those are the most likely times that a team will score or score again, and NC State finds themselves as the beneficiary of that philosophy.
Right, it definitely seems like, with any sport, if your team scores, obviously you want to score because you want to get back into it, but if you don't score soon, it's almost as if it gets harder to score as the game goes on.
Blue Devils now with it. Turns it over to NC State. Hurley finds herself all alone in the NC State attack. She has reinforcements on the way, but not before Duke can pick it off and look to build out of the back. Long pass, comes all the way out to Old. Old finds Davis. Davis onto number 20 for NC State. She has Carter to her left, but she decides to turn it back, finds Crawford's feet. Crawford takes the space, looking for Hurley. Her pass was errant. And it'll be Bolin to control. Bolin out to 20, deflected, comes to Davis. And NC State now possessing it quite well. Hurley in that no man's land where Duke's defenders are not. Hurley takes on 2 defenders, gets by both, crosses it, finds Carter's feet. She ping-pongs back and forth with the Duke defender, and Duke looking to now get on the counterattack. Tons of space out in the midfield. Long pass is not going to find its way through, and Bolin once again intercepts it. Bolin is having a heck of a half here, Logan.
Yes, she is. She's playing extremely hard, great defense, able to slow down the Blue Devils enough to not allow them to get into a goal for the second time.
Amanda Bolin has even been able to find herself on the attacking end of the field. A couple quality opportunities for the Wolfpack she's found herself in. Duke now with possession. Moves it past the midfield stripe. Nobody really claiming possession of the ball there, and Duke comes away with it.
That's what I felt like we were seeing a lot earlier in the North Carolina NC State game, was a lot of standing around just looking at the ball waiting for someone else to take it. It's not been the storyline so far this game until right then.
Duke with a pickpocket. They're in on goal. The Duke attacker had a defender on her back in the form of Reef. This will go out for an NC State clearance, falls to a Duke corner kick. So Duke's second or third corner kick at the half. And this is exactly how NC State can find themselves even with the Blue Devils if they don't defend this corner kick well, Logan.
Number 3 for the Blue Devils right there was not very happy. She got up pleading with the ref, saying that the defender was holding her literally by the hand. He was not amused and clearly is unaffected by her pleading.
She did have a case there as Reef did come from behind. In-swinging kick here by Duke is going to take a bounce before it pops off of a Duke body. And Hurley now has the ball alone up top. Bowen to move it out. She thinks better of it. Turns around. Finds a teammate in Carter. Carter takes all the space that the Duke is allowing the NC State attackers to have.
It was just outside the reach of her teammate, number 9, for the Wolfpack.
20 with it now. Almost chopped down by a Duke defender. She struggles through that. Shot on goal by Crawford, and another amazing save there by the Duke goalkeeper.
This Duke goalkeeper is playing outstanding today. She made a very great block earlier in the game on the first opportunity for the NC State Wolfpack. Made those 2 saves before the Wolfpack finally put their first goal in. And then right there, another great save. She's playing her butt off out there today.
Second corner kick for NC State today finds its way out to Bolin. Bolin starts and stops. Sends it back out towards Crawford. Crawford centers it. Shot on goal was deflected down. And Bolin's going to track back for it and look to reset with Old. And this is really exemplary of how NC State has used the whole field, the whole length and the whole width. I mean, Old is, in the back and giving good support, but we also see Bolin out stretching the width and Carter working well with her. It's going to be an offsides call here by Duke. An unnecessary waste of time right there by number 3. Obviously, the ball is going to come back out. And that's exactly what the referee's telling her right now. So
if they were hoping to have a good relationship, it's not starting off too well right now with number 3 and the ref.
Reef to move it up. Pass to no one in particular. Finds the Duke feet. And Duke looking to build out. And once again intercepted by Bolin. Bolin can't express how much Duke is trying to attack down the right side, and just Bolin won't let him. Very great aggressive defense by Bolin for sure. Davis to move it up. NC State turns on it, finds a long pass, streaking down the right side. It's NC State, but Duke will turn it away and let it fall out of play for an NC State throw-in. So probably not a lot of time remaining in this first half, Logan.
I don't believe so, but all the refs seem to be checking their watches and sensing that it's getting close to the halftime mark. And if you're the Wolfpack right here, I believe that they would go into the half very optimistic, very happy with what's happened as far as how they started versus, dropping down 1 and then getting the 2 goals to take the lead. If they can maintain this or maybe possibly put another one in the net, that they'd be very satisfied, at least with the first half, but definitely not satisfied with the game as it is not over yet.
Carter and Bolin looking to move forward once again as Bolin's back in the attack. This one will find Tomke. Tomke touches it too long, but it looks like NC State will get another shot on goal and an easy, fair catch made by the Duke goalkeeper. And what we've seen her talent level to be, that was very easy save and shot on goal.
Almost elementary for her compared to what she has saved so far.
Duke to clear it out. Curving ball will fall out of bounds. They're on to be taken in by number 5 for the red team. Duke on the throw-in. And just like that, the referee blows his whistle for the halftime. Logan, what did you see that you liked from the NC State side in that half?
I like the very aggressive offense. Again, as like we've already said, compared to the earlier game, they were very aggressive, attacking the goal. They created 5 or 6 or 7 opportunities to score, put 2 of them in. Didn't seem like they created as many opportunities in the earlier game. So I like seeing that, and they're playing great defense ever since the early goal by the Blue Devils. It doesn't seem like they've even gotten very close to the goal, except for that one that the number 3 for the Blue Devils complaining about being grabbed. Playing great defense, great offense. It's been a great effort so far for the Wolfpack, and if you are Duke, you want to try to slow down that attack and, of course, try to get the ball closer, try to create your own opportunities.
And just like that, the Wolfpack lead the Duke Blue Devils 2-1 in women's club soccer. You're watching Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the back. Welcome into the second half of NC State versus Duke in women's club soccer. NC State finds itself with a 2-1 lead after they were first scored on by Duke and then scored 2 straight to end the half. NC State looked to dominate the play. I'm James Thomas, joined by Logan Sims on Wolfpack Sports Television. And Logan, what do you think NC State has to do to close out this half?
Well, if you're the NC State Wolfpack to close out this game, you want to definitely keep up the offense, keep up the solid defense, keep up the solid offense, and maintain what you've been able to do so far since that first goal by the Duke Blue Devils. If you are Duke, you want to be able to tighten down that back defensive line a little bit better and try to get on the attack. Maybe a little bit more, try to penetrate the NC State Wolfpack defense and try to put one in the goal, obviously, because that's the ultimate goal of the game.
Certainly, Duke has the capability of getting themselves back into this game. They've had quality opportunities in the first part of the first half, but NC State seemed to dominate really the latter portion of the first half. Now NC State building an attack.
And I think if you are the Duke Blue Devils, you want to try to keep it on your side of your attacking side of the field as much as possible. The longer it's on the NC State Wolfpack side of the field, the greater opportunity that they'll build to put one in the goal.
And I think really NC State hasn't been tested on this left side of the defense. I think that might be something that Duke explores a little bit, because on the far side we've seen Bolin dominate play, and it doesn't look like Bolin's in there right now. It's hard to read numbers on the far side of the field, like, and so
yes, it really is, especially with the black on the red is kind of difficult.
Reef now defending, dispossesses the Duke Blue Devil attacker. She will jockey with the midfielder and earn herself a throw-in. She'll take it. Throws it out towards, it might be Cowan out there. Cowan flicks it on towards number 14, McDonald. Ball will fall out to the center midfield. They're number 20 for the NC State Wolfpack, who I do not have on my roster, so I do apologize for that. McDonald with the centering pass, looking for Cowan. Cowan can't get there, and Duke finds himself with loads of space out in the midfield. 1-on-5 here for the Duke Blue Devils. Reinforcements come for the team in blue.
Like you said, it was 1-on-5, just like I would dub her captain myself. Number 25 for the Blue Devils was calling out, trying to engage and try to push her team into getting on the attack.
NC State now with the possession. Pass was behind Carter, I do believe.
I'm not so sure, but I believe she might have just gotten away with a handball.
Excuse me, that's Yarborough. Duke testing this left side, like I alluded to earlier. She'll leave it for a teammate, but it's touched just before it goes out of play, and NC State will look to come out. Not before the ball is batted back towards Old, and Old will flip it on towards her left defender. Davis with it now. Yarborough plays a 1-2 pass with number 6. That's Autumn Olson.
"25 is a solid leader. I could see her being a very successful player, calling out plays even while she's defending the ball.
Yarborough to throw it in. Davis touches it on, but intercepted by Duke. Back to defend is Old. She flips it on to herself in space, chased down there by a Duke defender. It was a little bit in between her, in between Old and Reef. That'll fall out of bounds, possibly set up Duke for an opportunity here. Number 19 in blue to throw it in. Flips it too far. Streif handles it there, touches it one time, and the Blue Devils will come on for a corner kick. A lot of red jerseys in the box here. Looks like they committed 10. Blue Devils setting up some kind of play with 4 attackers at the top of the box. Ball swinging in, but everyone overruns it, and NC State
Did not seem to be a very aggressive corner kick for the Duke Blue Devils as she kind of put it back outside the attacking box.
Right. You always want to. I always say that when you get a corner kick, I hate playing it short, and I hate playing it back towards your defenders, because it's pretty much a free opportunity to put a ball in a dangerous area, and you're saying no thanks. And more times than not, I've seen that ball not go into a dangerous area, and the other team lose possession of it.
It's a wasted opportunity for the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils looking to take the direct route. Finds the striker up towards the midfield. Mauled there by Reef. She was all over number 3's back. The referee has awarded a free kick about 40 yards out.
Number 3 for the Blue Devils is quite possibly the smallest player on the field right now. Outside with some of the Wolfpack players by some 2 or 3 inches, but she might be one of the players with the biggest heart as far as the Duke Blue Devils is concerned on the offensive attack.
McDonald saves it from going out of bounds.
And she just put one of the Wolfpack players on the ground pretty hard right there.
Some more physical play here as Davis moves it up to the midfield. Cowan turns around, finds Yarborough. Yarborough can't find Cowan back in space. Yarborough with space now. She hits the deck, and Duke will take over possession. Looking for the direct route. Number 3 chases it on a 1-on-4 opportunity for Duke. Who will get there first? It's Duke. She gets a touch on it, but the ball will fall out of bounds before there's any threat to the NC State goalkeeper.
I think she put that right over the top of the goal. A nice attempt by number 3.
So Anna Beffeville to take the free kick out of the back for the Wolfpack. Flicked on here towards Cowan. Cowan to turn. Almost finds her left winger making a cut towards the back line. The intercepted there. Pressured once again by Cowan. Cowan trying to get on the end of an errant pass. Kicked out of bounds by the Duke Blue Devils. If NC State hurries, they'll have numbers. Flipped up high by McDonald. No one can find the first touch on it.
This is something that we've not seen quite as much in the last few minutes or so, is having the Wolfpack on their side of the field.
NC State building out of the back. Finds a touch out to 20. This is Tomke now with it. She plays it wide, but right to the Duke defender's feet. Duke now 5-on-2 as they just cannot commit enough people to the attack. NC State really should take advantage of that, but instead, number 26 in blue outmuscles the Wolfpack defender. And just like that, Duke has themselves a free kick just outside the 18-yard box on this near left side. I think the referee called a penalty on NC State there, Logan, but I think it really could have been called either way. They were both jockeying back and forth. I think I would have rather him not call anything.
I agree, and I believe the entire NC State Wolfpack agrees with that as well as number 23, Lewis. She was arguing very vocally, and the ref heard her and even called out to her and explained to her his call after staring her down for just a few moments to make sure she didn't get out of hand.
Cowan with it now. McDonald to try to find space. Instead, knocked out a play by the Blue Devils.
With the aggressiveness as it picks up, so does the wind.
Olsen with the ball. Olsen finds Tomke. Tomke with an easy turn. She'll try to find Cowan. The pass can't get there. The ball fall all the way back down to Lewis. Tomke to defend. Intercepted by number 20 in red. Pushed off the ball by the Duke blue defender in blue, rather.
It really almost seems like NC State's content to just play defense here and just make sure that the Blue Devils don't get close to scoring a goal.
We haven't really seen a lot of quality possession by either team, Logan. It doesn't seem like NC State could take a stranglehold of this game by just slowing down and taking pace of the game. NC State gets an advantage call here. As the referee initially said play on, but after the back pass, it'll be more beneficial for NC State to take the free kick. This will be Old, it looks like, taking the free kick. NC State looks like they're lining up for a play, but this is very far out, and the ball doesn't really get there, and Duke is easy going to clear it away. Duke now coming down the left side.
So you want to speak to her about that, and he just gave her a yellow card.
Yeah, I think that is the correct booking right there. She was late and in on the ankles. She'll have to substitute off. I do believe that's Autumn Olsen. She has two different numbers on. Her shorts say 3, but her jersey number says 6. There's a little bit of arguing.
The entire
by Haley Lewis
team seemed to be arguing with that one.
Actually, I do believe that was Daniel Cooper. Leanne Davis arguing. There's 2 number 23s on the roster. The referee will probably make note of that as well.
Now, on the stoppage of play, does the clock stop as well?
Absolutely. The ref will go ahead and hit his stopwatch right there, blow the whistle, and Duke will have a free kick. Headed away by the NC State defense. Cowan pops it up in the direction of Crawford. Crawford whiffs on it. And this play is getting really chippy by both teams.
It's definitely getting chippy, but even with that yellow card, the play seemed, not intentional. She was going for the ball and just happened to catch the girl's leg, it seemed to me. But it's definitely been a chippier, more aggressive game than the earlier game for the Wolfpack.
Throw into Duke, intercepted by NC State. That'll play. Olsen, who was sent off, is set back to come back on the field. Uh, she'll have to be careful with that yellow card, because if she were to get another penalty, she would be sent off, and NC State would find themselves down a woman and playing 10 on 11 soccer.
That's not what you want right now when you're trying to preserve a 1-goal lead. And if you're the Blue Devils, you'd be obliged to take anything the Wolfpack would give you on that end.
A long shot out there by number 3 for the Duke Blue Devils, and Belfieldville was never going to be able to get to that one. If she had put it a little bit closer on the frame, I think Duke could have knotted it up just like that, but instead NC State escapes. And this game still remains a 2-1 lead for the NC State Wolfpack. Several substitutions coming on for the team in red. Olsen, as I said, will find her place back at right back, and the right midfielder along that side as well, substituted on for. And a foul awarded to NC State. Reef with it here. One-touch pass to number 4. That's Brighton McGee, number 4. Duke switching the field, using the middle portion. And the NC State handball is going to be called by the referee. And Duke will be able to commit a lot of attackers to this opportunity due to the stoppage of play.
I believe the referee just gave the Wolfpack another spoken warning, asking them to keep down their voices, or at least their complaints about calls.
Headed away by Reef, and NC State clears out momentarily. Duke looking to get back in. Reef comes to it again. She takes a bit of a shot afterwards. The ball slices off Reef's foot and out of play for a Duke corner kick. So I think this is the 3rd corner kick they were seeing by Duke in the second half. And this is the dangerous portion of the game for NC State because, like we say, just one play, Duke can find themselves equalized again.
And it's also extremely dangerous for the Wolfpack because if they're not intentionally playing lackadaisical right now, obviously you never want to play lackadaisical, but they're not intentionally playing back on their heels, just trying to play defense and keep them out of the goal, and they're just struggling to actually create an offensive attack, and that's definitely worrisome, especially with how they only scored 1 goal earlier in the first game, and that was in the first half. They were unable to score in the second half.
Belfieldville skies for a catch on that first attempt at a corner kick. She can't come up with it cleanly, and it would fall out of play for another Duke corner kick. She lowers her hands, skips in, driving ball towards the net, right in front of the danger area for the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack seem to be able to clear it away. Cowan now with all by her lonesome. It's about 1-on-6, and she's still going to take the space and close in on the Duke Blue Devil net. Still going with it. Cowan with an amazing run now. Shoots it. And just a rudimentary save there by the Duke Blue Devil keeper.
On the part of the Blue Devils, that was a perfect opportunity back after that corner kick. Bounced off of the goaltender and seemed to be out in, like you said, a dangerous area. Missed opportunity for the Blue Devils.
Davis passes it around. Comes back to Reef. Reef leaves it for Davis. Davis on a long ball. That'll bypass everyone and fall down to the Duke Blue Devil keeper. She'll scoop it up easily. She takes a bounce and drop kicks it back towards the midfield. That'll go over Carter's head.
Ooh, that's dangerous. Very dangerous play right there as 2 players try to head the ball at the same time.
And NC State and Duke will both come on with substitutions. Looks like we'll have Davis coming off for the NC State Wolfpack, as well as Cowan. And number 20, they'll be replaced by Hurley And I think that is Bolin back into the game, who had a very important first half. See if she can retain that possession. She's playing a little bit of a different position. She's playing the holding midfield or kind of stopper position. Before she was playing right back. Duke Blue Devil throw in, flicked on towards the striker. It looked like Reef put a knee into the attacker's back, and the referee will call a foul, and the team in blue will set up for a free kick. I thought she was about to take that one. I was going to take exception because you can't play it to yourself. Blue Devil on a long kick, deflected away by NC State. Bolin now with it. Too cute of a pass. And NC State survives in the form of Olds sending it away. Nonetheless, Blue Devils on a throw.
It's always extremely dangerous to try to get fancy. You never know what would happen. As we just saw, soccer, you can always turn it over or turn it over. In basketball, you could always waste a possession because you're trying to be too fancy. It's just something you want to be careful with.
Wasn't Bolin's best decision that she's made all afternoon. Nonetheless, NC State survives, and this one will be cleared out by Belfaville. Left there to Carter. Carter will turn. She'll find a through ball towards Hurley. Hurley gets a foot on it, but it's Duke who retains possession. They'll look to play it out of the back through the midfield. Crawford jockeying with her midfield counterpart in blue, still attacking the Blue Devils. They'll pull it back out. Centering fast, pass finds its way to the Blue Devils in the form of 26. NC State now trying to break out. Carter down the left side, plays it long for Hurley. Hurley is using her speed, cuts back behind the Duke Blue Devil defender. Shot on goal is deflected off of a shin, but the weak shot just trickles down, and an easy save there for the Duke Blue Devil keeper.
After a very challenging first half of the goalkeeper for the Duke Blue Devils, she's had a very easy half defending the goal. This half, not having to jump and dive as much as she did earlier. She's only had a few shot on net.
Duke possessing it now. Long switch causes NC State to shift their defense. But Bolin arrives on the scene to intercept it. Crawford now moving it up. Disrupted by the Blue Devil defense. NC State will move it around and try to switch the field, it looks like. Now Hurley. Crawford down the left side. Crawford gets by one. The Blue Devils touch it out of bounds, and NC State will reset on a Crawford throw-in. Hurricane pass comes towards the middle of the field. No one's there, and the Blue Devils on a long clearance can't control it, and it'll come to a throw-in for the Wolfpack. Hurley has it, passes it back to Carter. Bolin turns, looks for a switch. He's going to find Olsen. Olsen back to Old. Bolin to Olsen. Streef with it now. Excuse me, Reef. Old back to Bolin. Bolin steps through, but is dispossessed by number 19 in blue. And NC State and Duke can't get possession. Crawford finally says, "It's my ball," and she sends it up towards number 4 in red. She'll streak down the right side, tries to find Hurley. Hurley one-time shot on it. Oh, and that shot just rising above the crossbar.
Just over the net. Another opportunity for the Wolfpack. One of the first better opportunities this half. And it was not completely snuffed out by number 25, but her flying over to slow down the breakaway definitely killed some momentum for the Wolfpack, but they were able to still get a decent shot on net.
This was a good job by Logan Hurley right there. She took one touch, composed herself, wrapped her hips around, and had a quality chance towards the net. And I think if you're going to test this keeper, you're going to have to go high because she's scooping up everything that's low. Duke looking to move it up now. Just doesn't have the numbers when it comes to the offense. And Hurley will look to center the pass. There's too many Blue Devils in the area. And the ball will be cleared away by Duke. NC State to throw it in. Crawford with the long pass. Comes to Hurley. Hurley was looking for McGee on her right side.
Not a bad attempt right there. She just got it right outside the foot of the defender. That might have been a wide open shot. Not quite wide open because the goalkeeper was still there, but it would have definitely been a one-on-one.
Nonetheless, Duke clears it out. NC State will have a good opportunity here as we close in on the middle portion of the second half. This is Crawford, right footing on the corner kick. Aggressively out is the Duke goalkeeper. This one will fall right out towards Hurley. NC State.
Almost two corner kicks without having to worry about actually doing it from the corner. But the second one was unable to be touched by the Wolfpack.
Olsen with an ambitious shot right there. Is easily scooped up by the Duke goalkeeper. She will just clear her lines, send it all the way back out to Boland. McGee passes back to Olsen. Olsen will find Boland. She'll look to switch the field. And Reef will have to send it all the way out to the far side. Tomke and Crawford play catch. Finally picked off by the Blue Devils. Olsen takes his space, composes herself, looking for a pass, forces one, and it'll come off a Duke Blue Devil shin.
NC State seems to be getting a little bit more aggressive as the game continues to go on, actually getting it into their side of the field.
McGee with the throw-in. Hurley splits her defenders. First to the ball is Boland. Boland to shoot off of the Duke Blue Devil back. And Duke seems to escape the pressure for now. Tomke passes back to Boland. Boland comes all the way back to number 19, Jenna Schwartz. Tomke holds, plays back to Boland. Boland's going to switch the field to Olsen. Olsen gets knocked off the ball on a very, very out of control play there by number 19, by the Duke Blue Devils. Hardly looked like she was making a play on the ball. McGee now quickly plays it out to the right side. Plays it back towards Boland. Boland back towards Olsen. NC State very content to just keep the ball now.
Trying to just kill some time. Keep the ball out of possession of the Duke Blue Devils, of course.
And just like that, Duke back on the attack. Reef doing a good job of pushing her defender off the ball. And NC State shuts down the attack on that far sideline by Shout. So Duke will make a substitution of their left winger. Take the throw in. Intercepted by Boland. Boland really getting a lot of touches on the ball today. Out of play off of NC State.
If you're NC State, I think you're totally all right with Boylan touching the ball so much because she seems to be a spark, great defensive player, and also able to create opportunities on offense to try to put the ball in the net.
So the 6th corner kick is about to come up for the Duke Blue Devils. And although it seems like NC State has most of the momentum, Duke can, in one play, shift this entire game by equalizing here. Corner kick on its way. Headed out by Boland. Sent back in by the Duke Blue Devils. It's off target, and it will fall out of play for a Belfieldville goal kick. The goalie in gray will line it up. Sends it up towards the midfield. Comes to the feet of Tomke. Tomke will turn on it. Stops and can't find any teammates in red open. So just plays it off a Duke defender.
We've already mentioned that it seems like NC State's content to just try to kill out this clock and finish the game off with a 2-1 score. But if I were them, I would definitely be wanting to try to put the ball in the net one more time. Try to maybe put the nail in the coffin, as one might say.
McGee with the physical play. Hurley now with it. She has space. Duke defender comes diving in. She will whiff on it. And Hurley's attack shut down. Duke to throw in. Plays it back. Long pass to no one. Is scooped up by Belfieldville. She'll take a couple bounces and send it sky high, slicing out of bounds. Push in the back. It's going to be against the Blue Devils. This one's going to be taken quickly by Crawford. Crawford plays it short to Boland. Boland plays it back towards Olsen. Pass couldn't get there, and it was picked off by number 3 for the Blue Devils.
Talking about a spark on a team, it seems like number 3 is a spark. She comes flying out of nowhere to steal that ball. I wasn't even aware that she was back in the backfield right there.
Olsen takes her throw in too quickly. The referee decides that she did not come all the way over her head. So NC State gives up a silly mistake there. Nonetheless, defends it quite nicely. And Boland will play it easily out to Olsen. Olsen will get past her defender. It'll pop off a Duke defender. And Olsen will take another throw in. Substitution coming on here for NC State. Tomke will make way for number 20. And NC State to restart. Boland to Olsen. Boland turns with a nice behind the foot move right there. And NC State switches the field in 2 passes. Carter working on the left side now. Dispossessed by Duke. Falls out of play for a Blue Devil throw-in. And it still seems like this game is up for grabs, Logan. Really, neither side has had a lot of quality opportunities in the past couple of minutes.
Definitely going back to the first half, it seemed like NC State, from the moment that Duke scored, a couple minutes after that, until NC State scored, it seemed like NC State had all the control in the world, kept the ball on their side of the field most of the time. It seems like this half, it's really just been back and forth with Duke having a slight advantage on having possession. If I was the NC State Wolfpack, I would not be completely comfortable right now with just a 1-goal lead, because the 1-goal lead only takes 1 goal as opposed to 2 or 3 if you were to have a greater lead.
It does seem like the next person to score will probably go on to win this game, if not end in a tie. Hurley, hustling with everything she's got, finds McGee, McGee still chasing after it. Crawford on a long opportunity, curving in. Wow, that would have made a highlight reel if that one had found the back of the net. Crawford certainly has a good leg on her there, Logan.
That was smoked. It was just a little too high. I was thinking that it was going to be really wide right, but I think that ended up going right over the right corner of the goal, so she'd gotten it down about a foot. That would have sniped right into the back of the net. Might have seen that on ESPN this week. But unfortunately for the Wolfpack, fortunately for the Duke, it's still 2-1 and NC State has possession.
NC State with it now. Carter on the left side finds Hurley checking back towards the ball. McGee out in space. McGee has a shot and a nice save there by the Duke goalkeeper once again. McGee now with it. Finds Olsen all the way back out. Olsen leaves it short for Old. She's content to just keep it there.
And on that last shot attempt right there, if someone had been trailing for the possible rebound, they would have had an easy putback for, as we already said, what would have been the nail in the coffin and probably finished the game off.
This pass way too far back for Reef. She'll have to track it down. Duke overplays it, and it looks like there's a lot of space out there now as Duke is tracking back and NC State is tracking back. Duke finally comes away with the possession, but can't maintain it. And Crawford will look to control for the Wolfpack. This is Carter now. Carter loses it. And Duke gives it right back. Bolin on a long pass towards Hurley. Hurley gets a touch on it. She was trying to touch it out to McGee. The Duke in good positioning there. Easily able to move it out. NC State defending the right side now. Duke looks to be on a bit of a run. There's no one in the box for Duke, however. Finally, reinforcements come, and NC State gives up another corner kick. So the 7th corner kick given up by the NC State Wolfpack. And if you look at the size of the teams, it looks like Duke would have the size advantage and would like to get a lot more crosses inside the box, but just haven't been able to.
Exactly, and it's very dangerous for the Wolfpack to continue to allow the Blue Devils to get these corner kicks because a few of these opportunities have come really close to potential opportunities for them. Just
high-arcing shot falls down in the danger area. Ooh, and Duke had a very nice opportunity there. And that'll be it, actually. So the end of the game comes a little bit sooner than we thought. And NC State with a 2-1 victory over the Duke Blue Devils. So what's your takeaway from today's game, Logan?
For my takeaway from today's game, if you're the NC State Wolfpack, I would be pleased with that first half, as I've already spoken, but I would not be quite happy with how they played. In the second half, they played some great defense. Obviously, they kept them out of the goal, and that's what counts. But you definitely want to be able to try to put another goal or two up in the second half, maybe try to put this game, to the end before the end's actually there. And if you're the Blue Devils, obviously you want to play a little bit tougher defense like they did in the second half, not allowing the Wolfpack to get too many more opportunities. And obviously you want to try to find out some ways to create some scoring opportunities for yourself and try to score going on into the season. Definitely, I would say a good day for the Wolfpack. Came out 1-0-1. Going forward, I'd be very optimistic for this team.
So NC State wins today's matchup against the Duke Blue Devils 2-1. We have been watching club women's soccer. NC State pulling out the victory today. This has been James Thomas for Logan Sims on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.